Good afternoon, John Gregory Vincent here with the Submarine Way. I am a retired Navy Command Master Chief, which is where the Submarine Way came from, the diversity and inclusion system of how inclusion specifically was done on submarines. So extracted by my partner and my wife, Deb Fortin, in the book that she wrote, Diversity and Inclusion, the Submarine Way. I want to share with you one of our courses, which is actually right out of one of the chapters of the book, which is everyone matters as long as they contribute. And that can sound a bit harsh, but the fact of the matter is when we look at inclusion and what really matters in inclusion, it's not groups, it's not festive holidays, it's not any of that stuff. People are included when they're really valued for what they bring to the table. And the submarine force does this absolutely magnificently. I'll give you an example from my own history. When I started on submarines as a rather junior person, won't get into the details, really junior guy, I had a knack when it came to the charts. I was a navigator, an enlisted guy, but a navigator. I navigated the submarine point A to point B, but I was the most junior person in the division. Very prestigious job in this in the navigation division is the chart petty officer. This is the person who is responsible for thousands and thousands of charts. If you don't have charts, you're operating essentially blind underneath the ocean. Not a good thing. So it's a pretty prestigious job, typically assigned to a more senior person. I did not have a knack for detail. I did not have a knack for keeping a really, really precise inventory system, so to speak. I had to partner with someone else to do that. But what I did have a knack for is big thinking. Okay, we're going to this area, but where could we get it reassigned to, and do we have coverage for that area? So sort of a future-looking, very big flick, something that I've always done. This became evident early on when I was just sort of helping out with the person who was the chart petty officer, and when that person transferred, I was given the position. Now, typically, people think hierarchy when they think military, right? You do this, you do this, you do this, and there's certainly a hierarchy. There's certainly a reporting structure. But submarines were really good at saying who's really good at what. Titles don't matter that much. Seniority doesn't matter that much. Who's really good at what? And what you get when you build an inclusion system based on who's really good at what, now you're bringing people to the table, not because of their title, not because of their division, not because of how long they've been there, but because what are they really good at? What is the unique thing? And we all have something unique. That is everyone matters as long as they contribute. So what might sound harsh, that you've got to give it your all and you've got to be really, really great or we're going to throw you overboard, actually isn't that harsh. We're actually going to tap into what you're best at. We're going to help you develop that. We're going to help you take talents, strengths, if you will, and then you will be valued because you're contributing. Not because we're forcing you to, not because you feel like you're going to get yelled at if you don't contribute, but you want to contribute because who doesn't like to work in those areas that they're not good at? In my particular case, I was given this job. I had a steep learning curve. I had to partner with others. Everyone matters as long as they contribute. But guess what you also have to do? You have to partner with other people. Another chapter out of the book, crewmunity, right? You can't do everything yourself, nor are you expected to. So I was only able to be very successful in that job because I used systems given to me by very, very detail-oriented people. That part I couldn't do. So I just counted on others. But the part I could do, the anticipation of where we were going, where we could be going, where we might be assigned. In the 2 years that I had that job, we never went anywhere, including numerous times where we were sent in places that we originally were not going, that we did not have chart coverage. Now, none of this is an example of, gee, isn't John wonderful? This is an example of what happens when you really tap into people. So when you look at an inclusion system, and that's what the Submarine Way is. It is a system of inclusion. And this particular course is on tapping into the unique talents of each individual. Because when you do that, when you watch for those people that are leaning in when you're talking about a topic as opposed to leaning out, you're probably in an area that they're interested in. We're most likely interested in things that we're really good at. So what I encourage you to do is obviously participate in this program, but participate in this course. But before you get to that course, start looking at yourself and everyone around you very differently. Start looking at everybody from the point of view of what are the unique gifts and talents that people have. When you do this, you have the ability to start seeing things very differently. You will build an inclusive system in the only way an inclusive system will last, which is it is based on people's contributions, and those contributions are tapped into based on their talents and their strengths. This is the key to true inclusion. John Gregory Vincent again with the Submarine Way. More information you can see at the end of this video. Thanks so much.